All right. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Twitter. Okay, we're going to have a little sports roundup session, guys. How is everyone doing today? Boom, boom. I want this to be as interactive as possible, guys. We're talking everything trending sports for Bruddc. Bruddc's trending sports show. This is called. Okay, guys. So everything that any sort of sport that I'm interested in, that's what we're going to talk about today. So it's Friday, guys. The week is finally done. This week has gone fast, if you ask me, boy. Damn, this week's gone fast. Damn, it's gone real fast. Let me just do a little sound check. Make it as interactive as possible, guys. Okay, the sound is beautiful. Sound is beautiful. Wake up, everybody. It's Monday. It's a lovely day. The sun is shining. Let's get some peeps in here. Let's make sure all my chats are working as well. It's so hard to monitor on here. Well, it shouldn't be, to be fair. It should be a lot easier. Let's wait till we get some morning people. Let's get some good mornings in the chats anyway. Okay, enjoy the magic of technology as I can edit this video and put it out. Okay, what should we talk about first? Should we talk about football, boxing? Well, that's my agenda today, actually. Football and boxing, my main sports, to be fair. Yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot more lives and stuff regarding sports, more interactive. I've been really lazy lately, to be fair. Really lazy. Let down by one or two guests as well. Otherwise, I would have brought you guys some newer shows and stuff. But I'm going to be mixing up a little bit for you guys. Good morning, everyone just joining us. Good morning across the platforms. It's Friday. What's everyone got planned today? Anyone got any plan today? Friday. Hello. I just can't get over how fast this week's gone, honestly. It is crazy. Just like the Friday, wow, crazy. Okay, we're talking sports, the guys. We're talking sports. We're just gonna wait for some interactions. Damn. All right. Let's start. Should we start at the tops? The best top news. Okay, it's been confirmed. AJ and Dylan White are going to kick it off again. AJ and White is going to kick it off again. Now, everyone's saying that, Joshua probably wouldn't take this fight because obviously there's a big carrot, and that carrot is Deontay Wilder in Dubai, some big money in that. And everyone was saying AJ will no way risk the fight. AJ's proving everyone wrong. There's no way Eddie Hearn would have wanted this fight for him because Dylan has the capability of taking Joshua out. There's no doubt about that. Dylan didn't look great though against Fury, but who does look great against Fury, to be fair? Not many fighters have looked good against Fury, have they? So how do I see this fight going? Watching AJ recently, just he seems like he's in a really good place. New trainer, and he looks a lot less bulky on the shoulders. So hopefully that movement's going to be better. It's going to be a bit more slippery and stuff. And it all depends. And honestly, I'm saying this now. AJ should, if he's on it and he's coming to kill, he's coming for blood, he's coming to take Dylan out. AJ has the capability of taking Dylan out, very early. Very early, AJ's got the capability of doing it. If AJ comes in with this hesitant stance where he's trying to throw little jabs and grab and he's really like, what's that brother's name that he fought last time? What's his name? Is it Jermaine something? Yeah, but that guy was pretty slippery though. He could box. You could tell he could move and slip. He's pretty decent, and AJ just went for caution with it. And when Dylan fought him, Dylan went to try to take him out and kind of boss the fight. But the guy technically he's probably a better boxer than both of them. To be fair, he's just unfit and just I don't know whether he has enough power to back him off. I can't remember that guy's name though. This always happens to me. I don't write things down, guys. Everything's off the cuff with me, and I'll just say it as it is. I think his name's Jermaine something, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah. So my prediction, guys, I'm saying AJ takes him out early. But if he doesn't, if he comes hesitant and he comes trying to box, Dylan's going to try and make that fight scrappy. He's going to grip him up. There's going to be so much trash talk in the build up to this fight. You know, Dylan's going to be roasting him. He's going to be trying to make him angry. So if Joshua can stay calm, stay composed, and still come in heavy, though, he's got to come in aggressive. For me, he's got to come in aggressive for White. He has to. He just has to come to take him out quick. Take him out quick. And AJ's got the boxing skills to do that, but it's just don't know, man. Since what's his name, man? Since that Spanish brother beat him up, boy. Since that Spanish brother beat him up, he's looked very hesitant. A lot of people giving him giving him stick, so to speak, about the Usyk fight. Against Usyk, yeah, Usyk is just one of those guys that he's just a really good technical boxer, and he just jabs and moves and just picks you off, yeah. So it wasn't like AJ was quite clearly trying to put it on him a little bit, and he done a lot better in the second fight. But to lose against that, it's like losing against Mayweather. Usyk is like the Mayweather of the heavyweight division, if you ask me, because he's so big, he's so small, he's so agile. Southpaw stance really does throw off some of these fighters. Yeah, so AJ shouldn't. Obviously, he's a perfectionist. He's been on top for so long, but he shouldn't give himself too much. My man's hit and run. That's not a bad thing to lose against. A guy that's really technically good at boxing, and he just jabs you and goes. Different if you get stopped. And that's different. If you get stopped and you get stopped hard, like Andy Ruiz, that stoppage, that was brutal. But we all know there was problems behind closed doors there. I don't know quite what it was, but there was definitely problems there with Joshua. But you can't write Dylan off though in this fight. You can't write him off. Dylan's got a sweet left hook, boy, and if he catches him with that left hook, it's going to be a problem. I'm very, very surprised that they've chosen to take this fight ahead of a potential Deontay Wilder fight. Yeah, that's it really for me on that. Don't know if anyone else wants to chime in. Would anyone got anything to say? AJ versus White, how do you see it going? AJ versus White, peeps, what we saying? I say AJ can take him out early if he comes to fight and he comes to take him out. If he comes to try and box and try to jab and move and stuff, I think that's going to be a long-ass night, and that just brings Dylan more into the fight for me. Okay, so now we're going to go to the not really the bottom, but a heavyweight rising star, Gerard Anderson. He fought against Charles Martin a couple of weekends ago. Last weekend? I think it was last weekend. I was very impressed with this kid. He was 40-0 at the time. He got the decision against Charles Martin. But Charles Martin looked like a totally different fighter. A totally different fighter to the one that fought Joshua for that belt when Joshua won his first belt. Charles Martin deserves a lot of respect, and he was southpaw. He really put it on Gerard, and Gerard, for me, had to come through a few obstacles there. And what impressed me with him, I noticed that he was able to land big shots on Martin, but he was able to land big shots, but he just didn't seem to have that extra power to take him out. How Joshua dealt with him. Joshua dealt with him quick. But for me and everyone that probably watched that fight probably saw it as for what it is. Charles Martin came. He came. It was for a vacant belt, wasn't it? It was for a vacant belt after Fury lost it, and he just didn't seem like he wanted it. What his So Bentley straight up, he's happy, cruising, chilling. Um, but oh, getting extra sound coming in. That's not cool. That's not cool. Yeah, but big credit to Charles Martin firstly because honestly he looked like honestly he looked like a decent fighter, a really tricky southpaw, a decent fighter. It'd be interesting to see him against Usyk. If he comes with that sort of attitude, like he came to fight this Jared Anderson, this kid, they're tipping him to be the new Joshua, and they still are tipping him to be the next Joshua. This Jared Anderson, a really good fight. Go on YouTube, guys, and watch it. Jared Anderson versus Charles Martin, and Charles Martin, obviously a southpaw. Jared Anderson, orthodox. And what impressed me about the young kid was he adapted in the fight. He just adapted in the fight, and obviously, when I say that adapted, to people that don't know, he switched stance. He switched. He started, but he noticed that Charles Martin was just really picking him off, and he was just trying. He just couldn't get past that. He just couldn't get past that right jab. So he switched it up, went jab for jab, and he landed. He done really well, and that's really good for a young fighter. Like like you think about Joshua and stuff like that. Joshua would never switch to southpaw. Never switch to southpaw at 14-0. He's never doing that. So that was I was quite impressed with that he was able to do that. And this was late waters, and my guy Jarrod was taking licks from Charles Martin, boy, proper licks. Charles Martin was dropping them shots on him, boy. So I was quite impressed with Charles Martin, and definitely impressed with Charles Martin, but definitely impressed with this Jared Anderson, just the adaptability and stuff that he was showing in the fight. Yeah, so all right, Usyk and Fury. Everyone's furious with Fury. They said he dodged the fight. He should have unified the division. Blah blah blah. And honestly, guys, Tyson Fury, you can't love him or hate him, whatever it is, guys. You might not like the way he looks, but technically, the guy is the best boxer. The best heavyweight boxer on the planet. There's no argument with it, like him or love him, hate his style, whatever. But so for me, if he fights Usyk, he will simply, if he wants an easy night, he will simply go southpaw and go right jab for right jab, and he jabs Usyk's face off all night and then probably stops him for an uppercut later on. Now, if Usyk is somehow able to get past Fury, should they fight, if he's able to get past Fury and stop Fury, or even beat Fury on points, then boy, we're talking about a hell of a fighter there. I don't know how good he is. Obviously we can see he's a really good southpaw. He's a good boxer. He's able to outbox Joshua quite comprehensively. But Tyson Fury is a different ball game. He's going to have the reach on him. He will, Usyk isn't going to have that advantage. Tyson, I will 100% put money down. Tyson Fury fights Usyk. He just switches southpaw, and he goes right jab for a right jab, and guarantee he's going to be landing more jabs than Usyk. So that for me, honestly, I don't know if anyone wants to throw anything in there, but for me, easy nights work for Fury. Should they ever fight, whatever. Should we switch it up a little bit? Should we switch over to football? All right, Mason Greenwood, guys. Mason Greenwood. Obviously, we all know the situation. What happened back in the day? My man got removed from FIFA. It was that bad. Got booted from FIFA. But there's more to this story, guys. Obviously, anyone that's watched them videos, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to defend him. It's a tough one, But I think when you put it in perspective now, there's the girl he's married to. Well, they're talking about getting married. They have a child. He's with the girl that made the allegations against him, that recorded him without him knowing. So I don't know if that makes any difference. I think, honestly, these celebrities and footballers, sportsmen or whatever, celebrities, I'll say, these young guys with money and stuff, it's very easy for power to get to their head, for them to sort of, think they're like gods, honestly, like we can't imagine it, 19 years old, you're a multi-millionaire, you've got the houses, you've got the cars, you've got the fame, you've got everything, and what happens is with these girls that come into their life is they come in and they just accept it whatever it is, they accept it, you know. But obviously, we don't need to go on too much about it, you know. Mason Greenwood, Ten Hag is apparently ready to pick him for the squad. Yes, you know, there's going to be the chance, rapist, whatever. There'll be all this sort of stuff going on. But does it make any difference that the girl that made the allegations against him, you know, they're back together now? Ultimately, they've got a kid on the way, and they're talking about getting married. So I think that makes a big difference as well, you know. And yes, obviously, guys, if he was beating her, then obviously that's not great. It's not good, you know. He needs some help for that. But you know, she's taken him back. She's accepted him. You know, they're moving on, and they're moving on with their life. I think, you know, he served his time, house arrest, whatever it was. I don't think that she wanted to press charges and stuff. So it's going to be a tough one for him. It's going to be real tough. I don't know whether maybe we need him though. I think we could use Mason Greenwood. You know, we really missed a player. It's like, imagine it's like losing a young Van Persie. You know, like losing a young Van Persie last season. So it was a tough one for us. But you know, yeah, that's my bit on that. But Mason Mount, 55 million from Chelsea. I don't know what we're going to do with this guy, you know. I've watched him play for England. I've watched him play for Chelsea. Chelsea have had the worst season ever. I know they bought a load of players in, and you know, it's just been experiment. It's been very experimental, you know. But for me, I've seen him, and he just looks like one of those solid, hard-working players. Like technically, you know, I've not seen any great play from him or anything like that. You know, no killer passes, and you know, I should really get his stats up, but obviously I'm not using OBS at the minute, so I can't make it interactive like that. But yeah, Mason Mount, he seemed like a solid midfielder, but 55 million. And is he better than what we've got? Is he better than freaking? You remind, like, I don't know, man. Is he better than McTominay? And Fred's getting a hard time as well, man. People are really putting down Fred, boy. And if you ask me, towards the end of the season, Fred was doing really well. I preferred him in there. But yeah, what can we say, guys? Mason Mount, he's in. Wish him all the best. You know, I hope he's a success for us. But yeah, for me, he just seems like a very average and basic player to me. But yeah. All right. Finally, the big one, guys. Spence versus Crawford, 29th of July, live, Showtime, pay-per-view. This is the fight we've all been waiting for. How do we see it going? How do we see it going, peeps? Spence versus Crawford, how do we see it going? I would like to get some input back from this. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds, see if anyone wants to come in on this one. Spence versus Crawford, guys. Anyone want to come in on this one? All right. Make sure you put it in chat, guys. Make sure you put it in chat later when I've uploaded this video. Spence versus Crawford. How do I see it going? I see a comprehensive victory for Terence Crawford. Honestly, there's something about this guy. For me, he's very Mayweather-esque. Very Mayweather-esque. To stop Sean Porter, yeah? To stop Sean Porter. Sean Porter is like a mini Mike Tyson, basically, you know? And to stop him the way he did, you know, just his parents were like, his pops was like, no, we don't want any more of this, you know? And the way he dealt with Amir Khan was so fast, you know? He was so fast. Kell Brook, you know, wow. And if you just like Spence, for me, you know, Kell Brook was very unlucky against Kell. Like, you know, I think if he didn't do that eye damage, I think he would have maybe even gone on and got the points victory, you know, because I thought he was winning at the time. I think what was it, the 10th? I think it was the 10th round. He done his eye and he just sort of quit. And fair play, you know, once that is it the orbital bone in the eye sort of, you know, goes, you know, you can't fight on from that. So it's crazy. And people are giving the bar a lot of stick for that as well, you know, against Joyce. I wanted to touch on that actually. So Daniel Dubois is getting a shot against Usyk. Poor old Joe Joyce had to fight that Zhang brother, that big ass Zhang brother that no one wanted to fight. He obviously lost. And yeah, Frank Warren, that seems a bit harsh, you know, to put Daniel gets a Usyk shot, and Joe Joyce that won the fight against Dubois has to freaking fight Zhang. You know, that was a bit deep for me. Yeah, bit touchy, that one for me. But fair play to Joyce. He's willing to go back in again, and you know he's going to give it a shot. All right, guys, we are towards the end of the sports roundup. I'm going to do another one on Love Island shortly. Everybody, Bruddc Entertainment out. Make sure you guys interact with the next one. I know it's my fault because I'm not been active so much on this channel, but you know, we're going to be mixing up. You know, that's the good thing about having your YouTube channel, your own one, is you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. So, guys, I'm going to be editing this video on all the individual subjects. Everybody, have a fantastic Friday, and peace and love.